get this started. Let's get this party started, y'all. Okay, so thank you for the gifts. Y'all are sweet. Alright, so today is about the future, okay? Today we are learning about how to deal with the future. Okay, so a lot of people are overwhelmed when they think, oh, the future, oh, like, blah, blah, blah. Why are you so scared? You should be excited, okay? Like me, I feel excited. I feel like I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. Like, the future better happen right now, okay? But we are currently in the present. So it's like, basically worrying about things that are in the future is kind of like, okay, they say if you worry about the past, it's depression. And, okay, if you freak out, okay, or if you dwell too much on the past, they call it depression. If you dwell too much on the future, they call it anxiety, okay? So it's kind of like, you gotta find that mid-ground where you could live in the moment, okay? Not just necessarily in the moment, but kind of like being thoughtful of like, okay, if I say or do this, it could have a drastic effect on my future, okay? And with that being said, it's like, it is like thinking about the future, but not necessarily. And so when it comes to the future, it's almost like you can think about it all you want, but the future is the future, you know? It's not like, oh, like, the future can happen right exactly now. The reality is constantly happening. It really depends on the level of how the past affects you, if it's PTSD or not. Post-traumatic stress disorder is like, it's more like, say somebody got blown up in front of you, okay? That's gonna be far more freaky than if, like, you know, your mom fucking abandons you, okay? So it's like a distress type of thing. It's not depression, okay? Depression is like something you cannot fix, okay? Depression comes from the past and is something that cannot be rewritten. So worrying about the past is really, it doesn't matter how you worry about the past, what level of past you're freaked out or worried about, okay? It doesn't matter. Hello, good morning. And so with that being said, it's just more of a game, you know? Like, how fast can I get back into the moment? The moment that I start thinking about the future and I like start freaking out, you know, like, oh, okay, I need money for this and that, and you know, like, I'm gonna be 100 years old and you know what I mean? And so people are trying to invest and make as much money now and trying to figure out how long they're gonna live for, you know? People are like fucking, wow, okay, so y'all are being weird. Good morning. But like, so basically, when you really think about the future, like, people are getting their grave plots and stupid shit like that, and doing things like that are really just, you know, you're planning for the future way too fucking far, okay? I do get it, like, eventually you're gonna need a grave plot, but let's not start looking at grave plots until we hit a specific age, okay? Well, y'all are thirsty, all of y'all. I'm all of y'all. But, like, we all are, for the future and the past, and it's just like, some people don't know how to deal with whatever they have at that very moment, okay? And so living in the moment could feel like, oh, well, you know, I need to balance my future and past. Well, no, it's kind of like your past is kind of just a guide or a starting point, okay? Let's just say our past is a starting point as to where we are in the future, kind of like a video game. You know, we can do what we can to work through the past so that we are in the present, and then say we get to the present, all right? And we get to the present and we start worrying about the future. Okay, that's where we need to kind of slowly plan little at a time. Okay, like say I'm living my everyday life and I buy myself a chocolate bar because I'm gonna enjoy that shit later, right? And I get another one. I get two. And I save one for later. Is that not me planning for the future? You can make little tiny plans in your present towards the future. So I really wouldn't be too concerned. I think there's a lot of people, a lot of young people, they're like, well, how am I going to make my 401k? How am I going to, how am I going to pay for a house? And, I can only make like $16 an hour because, they got to pay for all their other bills, and when it really comes down to it, they got like a master's degree that they're paying off, on top of the fact that they have to rent an apartment with like 5 other people just so they can have one place to live. And it just really starts to feel hopeless. But it has a lot to do with where you are in life. The position. Do you live in California? Obviously, if you live in California, the wages are low and the prices are high. Maybe move somewhere. I know that like Washington, Colorado, different places, they will pay more. It is a little harder to get a job in different places because I think you have to pay for the applications and stupid stuff like that, okay? But you're more likely to get the jobs in other places because there's more work. So it's kind of like you gotta really just take the good with the bad and everything, kind of balance out that, kind of balance out what's going on, always find solutions, always find a way to expand whatever it is that you have. I mean, yeah, a lot of people could drive, and do stuff like that, but I feel like, yeah, maybe some of these people are in some kind of prison, and they're worried about, okay, what's gonna happen when I'm out of prison, alright? So say you are in prison, Penn State or whatever, doing a forklift, you could still make money in jail, maybe not the best way, but I know people that are more successful in bad positions than they are in a good position because that's what they know, and I'm like, yeah, maybe it's not my way of doing things. I do like to do things on the up and up, but it's kind of like if you're in hell, you know what I mean? It's like being in hell and sinning. It's like, okay, well, you're already in trouble, so just don't go around killing people. That's all I gotta say to you. But yeah, I wouldn't worry about the future. I would just really talk good about it. Okay, so like, it's kind of like looking in the mirror and telling yourself, well, just look in the mirror knowing that things are gonna be fine. Okay, there's really very easy ways to just look at yourself and just understand like where you came from and where you are now, and just to really accept whatever it is that you ended up making, okay? And so it's like you don't need to compare yourself to other people, but you can compare yourself to where you've been and where you are now. So when you do that, it really, I mean, if you're not improving, it's not going to help you. But if you're improving, if you're using the things that I'm saying to improve your life, you'll eventually get to a point where you realize that, like, hey, like, I could do things for my future while living in the present. I can look to the past to feel better about my future. Because you do things to move forward in life. You're not still staying the same person, hopefully. Hopefully you learn to kind of get through the BS of whoever you thought you were. and you're moving towards a better future, you can easily look in the mirror and be like, all right, well, I was in prison several months ago, and now I'm free. And what have I chosen to do with my time? I've chosen to be, turn a new leaf, no matter how fucking hard it's been. And it's like, well, you could sit there and you could blame other people. I would say that's depression. Sitting there in that energy is definitely the best way to get nowhere. Okay, and a lot of people want that. Okay, the enemy wants that. And I talk about the enemy, okay, a lot. What I mean by the enemy is people who, wanted you to fail. People who are waiting for you to fail. Because they don't have shit going on for themselves. They literally will have nothing for the rest of their lives because they're sitting there focusing all of their hatred, time, and attention on people who are simply doing better for themselves because they chose to do it. And it's like, it's that type of energy that will destroy a future. Okay, no matter how much money somebody has, no matter how much whatever, they'll lose that money. They'll get a Job situation reverse. Okay, they will literally have everything that they're born with. You could be born with everything and gradually be stripped of everything. And people don't really realize that. So they go through life thinking, I'm better than everybody. I was born with a silver spoon in my mouth. I could do whatever I want. Because they don't have a character built background. They did not have to become a better person. They always thought and were taught that they were better than everyone else. So as these people go through life, they could be possibly financially stable if other people are helping them. But I would say on their own, they would probably fall so hard that they would never be able to recover. And I feel like the people that have built what they have from the ground up without owning, all these great things to begin with, they're most likely to succeed. And I know that sounds weird, when you look at people who have all this money and stuff, but they don't have happiness. They don't have a real future because they don't have to strive and work for it. It's almost like, unless they're a life path number 5 who is literally here just to enjoy life, they're probably going to be very, very miserable because a lot of people are not a life path number 5. A lot of people are here to work very, very hard and pay off extreme karmic debt from whatever it is they did in the past. So if you're very unattractive, if you're infertile, you can't have children, you've done something to really anger the creator. Okay, and I don't know why that happens to people, but I would just be like, live this life as positive as you can. So in the next one, if you don't believe in this stuff, it's totally fine. But it's like, why are people born with specific problems then? It's like, you obviously know there's something underlying happening. Okay, whether it's their parents did something wrong and they're getting the karma for it, which is terrible. The parent deserves the karma, but it's part of your karma to be born to that person. So it's like for me, I would say I just wanted to be born so bad. I was so tired of waiting around. I'm like, man, I'm the coolest bitch up in here. It's my turn to get born. So I'm like, bitch, move out the way. I push a karmic out the way just so I could swoop right into that womb, and I'm like, man, I should have waited, I should have waited, but, when I really think about it, it's like, thank you. When I really think about it, though, when I really think about it, though, I feel like we're all given a fair chance, regardless of how much karma from the past we have to deal with. We're all given a fair chance because we start new. Okay, so there is some kind of crazy, round and round and round energy where we get reborn into different things. Wouldn't you want to live whichever cycle you're in the best to that ability or to your ability. Because I want to do my absolute best no matter what the fuck it is. Even if I'm failing, I want to make sure I fail fabulously, okay? Because when I get back up, we're gonna have a different kind of parade, okay? I don't know why I'm thinking, why did I hear penis parade? Fucking Japan! You and your penis parades! Okay, so, yeah, I'm just thinking of like different things that we all do in our lives and how we could better our futures regardless of thinking about it. Okay, you could work towards your future without ever thinking about it. You could just live your life and be like, all right, I got my first paycheck. Every paycheck I'm gonna save $100. Okay, so you're saving $100. Next thing you know, you got a lot of money saved because you just been, saving $100 every, you make $900, you save $100. Okay? Boom. Good. You're happy. You spending like $800 on whatever the fuck you want because you didn't move out of your mom and daddy's place, and you're still saving hundreds and hundreds and hundreds every week. Okay? If you're getting paid weekly, bi-weekly, I feel bad for you. Okay, but, yeah, stacking bills. And little by little, your future is getting better while you're living in the moment, okay? Moms do this in a weird way where they will go to, like, I don't know, Pick and Save, Costco, Walmart. They will buy shit in bulk, for, like, half the price. Paying $24 for, like, 80 cans of soda. Okay, that's a really good deal. You could go sell the soda. I mean, I don't know. Some people do this. They could go and sell the little individual sodas, on the little wee. I don't know what it's called. It's like an ice cream pusher machine. I don't know. I see guys pushing little ice cream carts in the park. And it's like, they're making a fucking killing. They don't gotta pay no taxes, nothing. So, I mean, you could do whatever you want. You can forge whatever kind of life you desire. It's just how you do it and where you start it. You gotta just accept what it is so that you can start that future. Because you're like sitting there and you're like, Mom, I don't want to push the ice cream cart. You're complaining. You don't want to work. You don't want to, you don't want to make that $900 a week. Okay. You just want to stay home and eat hot Cheetos or whatever. Your future gonna be a fucking coffin. Okay. That's all I can say is your future is gonna be a coffin. There's different ways to get different results, and I would say people that are wanting, to be famous and successful, they obviously need to work towards it. So, at the end of the day, you can live simultaneously. Your present and your future are really just tied together. So just remember when you're in the moment, okay? When you're in that moment, it's really important to recognize, alright, if I fuck this up right now, this could ruin my whole future. Okay? That's the most important thing to remember. Like, I always think about that. Like, I was like, okay, if I rip this bitch weave off her head, if I rip the weave off her head, I'm going to jail, okay? And it's just like, okay, I'm not gonna do anything, because you are not worth it. You are not worth getting all riled up for. Okay, you can go and rile someone else up. There's a certain energy that you have to carry in the present moment to have a good future. And it gets a little confusing because you could just really think like, okay, well, I need to act this way so my future will be great. Well, it's like, you kind of know in the moment if your future, or if that moment's going to be great based on your actions. So it's like, I could be at the mall shopping, you know, with my bestie, and they're buying me whatever I want, and, you know, Shanique would come in, hiss me with her big old purse, I could start a brawl and just end up in jail. And, like, what happens to all my shopping? I'm like, I didn't get to shop. I didn't get to have a good time because I allowed myself in that moment to get really riled up. And it doesn't happen anymore. Because I feel like I just look at people, like I would say, like, if somebody starts trying to put you in that kind of energy, just kind of look at them and try to remind them, like, how old are you? Is this how we solve problems? Because back in, like, middle school, this shit didn't work. And it turns into a shame fest. Okay, I know that sounds weird, and not necessarily something that I would say to do normally, but doing a shame fest really helps put in people back in place, okay? And I hate saying that, but it's like, it's kind of like obvious. We're grown adults, there's a specific way we should be speaking to each other, certain energy we should be carrying, and obviously we know what to do and what not to do. And so what you start reminding people of how old they are and how they're throwing a tantrum like a child, it really starts putting things into perspective. Like, how old are you? Like, how old are you? And so that's kind of what the route I go. I go kind of like, you know, I'm a classy person. You can act crazy and make yourself look like a fucking jackass, and I'm gonna be over here with all the men laughing at you. Like, is that the kind of girl you want? Like, I'll be more likely to be like that, okay? It's definitely wrong, okay, for me to behave like that, but it's way more wrong for her to behave like that. Trying to start a fight. Okay, this could be in prison too. I would say, I mean, a lot of people in prison have to fight to live, to survive. But see, that's also what the enemy wants. The enemy wants you to have extra time in jail. The enemy wants you to stay behind bars because the enemy makes money when you're behind bars. The government makes money. Like, especially if it's like federally funded or some shit, they get money for your ass. The longer you stay there, the more money they make. So it's like, are you someone's bitch? Cause I ain't nobody's bitch. I can tell you that right now. I ain't nobody's motherfucking bitch. I use my mind to just oversee it. It's like, okay, well, you are fucking crazy. There's something wrong with you. I'ma leave. I'ma leave. I'ma go collect myself. And you do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Okay, Monopoly rules. Thank you. And that's it. Okay, that's it. You kind of have to be an adult and grow up. And it's hard, thank you. It's hard, trust. Like, I'm one of those people who's like, why do I have to change the way I act for other people? And it's not for other people, it's for you. It's so you don't go to jail. It's so you don't have to ruin your good time. It's so you don't have to suffer. It's not about them. They're an op. Okay, I don't know if you know what the op. Okay, your op is your enemy. Alright? And so it's like, when they're your op, why are you gonna do what the op wants? Why are you gonna do what your opponent wants you to do? Then they win. It's checkmate. Collect $200. Pass go. Yeah, because you want to collect that pass go to get that $200. And that's what I'm saying. Is like, this person wants to get over on you. Most people know what they're doing. And it's like, once you have that mindset, you could be the one winning chess. Where you're like, I'm in control of my own self. I'm in control of my attitude. I'm in control of how I respond to things. Now I could play you. Alright? I might sound really cruel. And I know I teach about, like, love and light. But why should you always be nice to people? Okay, sometimes you have to put people in their place and let them know that they can't fuck with you. And I would say that's the only time it's okay. When somebody else throws the first dagger, alright? Then mental kung fu mode all day. Okay, but make sure they get out of your energy, because you don't want to keep exuding that energy. Okay, it's gonna drain you. That's kind of what they want. The enemy wants to drain you of energy and potential. Okay, and it's more of a, I would say it's a game. Okay, a lot of these people are playing games, and you could be a better player. You know what I mean? And it's like there's things in order to make sure that you always win. And I'm not saying like starting mental fights is good. It's just finishing them. Okay, just don't start shit, but finish it. Okay, and that's my rule. Is I don't start shit, but I like to finish it. You know, I won't start shit, but I will finish that shit. And I'll make you wish that you never met me. That's you know, that's my job, is to make sure that I look innocent and bullyable, so that God could come in and be like, wait, what? Say what? Say what? And destroy that bitch life, okay? Because I ain't gotta lift a damn finger. That's what I'm telling everybody. You don't gotta lift a damn finger to put somebody in their place. You could just give them a look. Like, how old are you? Why are you acting like a 5-year-old? I literally can destroy somebody with just a glance. And that's women's ability. A man's ability should be a little more wordy, okay? A little more, I'm not gonna put up with your shit and this is why kind of thing. I've known a lot of women that can destroy you with one look, but it's not for a good reason, okay? I'll destroy someone with one look because that's what I need to do. Okay? I don't want to. I want to be nice. I want to have tea. I want to get drunk. I want to have fun. Okay? I'd rather not be fighting. Okay? I'd rather not. But if I have to, I'd rather just use my energy to give you one fucking look that will destroy your world. Because I'm not about to sit here and waste my time fighting with you. Okay, that's a man's job. And even a real man shouldn't be fighting with nobody. He should just be able to say a few words and put you in your damn place. Okay, like being a real, like being a daddy. You get to your child, you don't gotta lift a fucking finger. You just say a few words, like the next time you fucking, you know what I mean? Like the next time you do this, I'm gonna make you do like 1,000 push-ups. That's the kind of parents I would be. Like, if you want to do something stupid, you gotta do 100 jumping jacks now. You're gonna be the most fit motherfucker when I'm done with you. Like, you said, what? Do 100 push-ups! Fucking little man rip. At the end of the day, yeah, that's nurturing, that's real. So it's like, sometimes you have to be the bad guy to, well, I'm talking about kids. I'm talking about little kids. A little kid could do 100 push-ups and not even blink. I mean, at least I could have when I was a kid. I think it depends on the kid, okay? And the lifestyle that child lives, okay? But I'm just saying what works for me may not work for you. It could totally work. You might have that daddy stare where you look at somebody and you make them feel like a child because they didn't done wrong. Okay, I'm just saying we all have our own techniques. Whatever works for you, make sure it just doesn't start, a fist fight. So, well, I would say this. Some people out here don't really see that as possible. Okay, so if you don't see being level-headed as a possibility, all you gotta do is walk away and do something else. I don't know why you would need to do this. This is like childish, but like some people might need to go punch a punching bag. Okay, that's a lot of energy. You could use that energy for something that you want to do. I don't really want to go punch a punching bag. I'd rather go write a book. I'd rather go stream a video. I'd rather go stream live, personally, because that's going to make me money. That's going to make me what I want. I mean, I don't necessarily want money. I mean, I just want stuff to continue in life. And for me, punching a bag, that's going to fuck up my hands. And then how am I going to write that story? How am I going to hold my boyfriend's hand? How am I going to jerk? No, I'm just kidding. Anyways, but, it feels so gap, you know. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. To me, I feel like, I'd rather use that energy to do what the fuck I want to do. I don't want to give you my energy by being angry at you. Ew. Like, you're not even worth it, okay? That's my energy. It's like, whoever is trying to upset me isn't even worth it. They're not worth me being angry over, okay? The only person worth being angry over is, like, literally if God came down and was like, bitch, we ain't friends no more. I'm like, what? I'm just kidding. God ain't gonna do that shit. But you know what I mean? I really have a very few things that actually upset me nowadays, because nothing really seems to matter, and thank you for that. But I would say to get to that point where things don't really matter, you have to really experience a lot of things. You have to experience things that are very disappointing over and over and over, and then eventually you just kind of realize, like, well, when the things that do work out are awesome, and the things that don't work out, they just don't happen. So it's like, okay, well, that didn't happen, it's time to go to this thing. So it's like, there's never really a disappointment anymore, because it's just the fluidity of life. Okay, well, this worked, this didn't, this worked, this didn't. And then so as things are working and working in your life, you realize what doesn't work. Okay? And I think it's funny. I think it's funny to, you know, sit there and be like, this person did this. It's like, okay, like, that happened 10 years ago. Can we, like, live what we're doing now? Like, why are you still mad at your parents? You still angry about your folks? You know, it's like, come on, like, how fucking old are we now? As you get older, things should bother you less. A lot less. Okay? Straight up. So, that's kind of what it's all about. It's kind of like, alright, are you gonna put up with living miserable forever? Or are you going to pull yourself up and do the things that make you happy? Because there's a lot of things that can make you unhappy. There's a hell of a lot of things. And there's equally enough things to make you happy. And other people happy as well. Thank you guys. But I would say that's kind of what matters, okay? Over time, you just kind of start to realize that these people trying to piss me off, these people trying to upset me, it's because they're miserable. It's because they're sad. They want me to feel how they feel. And it's almost like it becomes sad. It's like, really? You're gonna be a 35-year-old man or a 36-year-old man, and you're going to continue to live like you're an 8-year-old boy? It's sad. It's like, alright, I'm gonna go over here and hang out with this really other, like, this super nice hot guy that treats me good and buys me stuff instead. That's what you're gonna experience as a guy. You're gonna come across the people who are not gonna put up with you, and those are the people that are actually worth your time. Because they know things that the miserable bitch doesn't know. They're wiser than the miserable person who's gonna get you put behind bars. Okay, and there is a specific way to approach these better people. These people that will not cause you drama and problems and cheat on you and have babies with other men and say they're yours, and you know what I mean? It's just like... I just feel like there's two different paths in life. Happiness and misery. You got the choice. Live like an 8-year-old or grow the fuck up. It could be hard too. I didn't want to grow up. Yeah, no, this is different. This isn't actually about you, whoever you are. I do this every Monday through Friday from 10 to 11. I help people. I help people not be so fucking stupid, okay? And so that's kind of what it goes. It's kind of like, well, I mean, you could let your family change you, but you could also walk away from family. You don't have to be stuck with somebody for the rest of your life just because you were born into that situation. I left my family. I was like, alright, well, all of you are extremely unhealthy, mentally, physically, and spiritually, and you have been ruining my mental, physical, and spiritual existence as well. So I just walked away, and I never looked back. I don't have any reason. They're still constantly, they're like diabetically overweight. They're making themselves sick. My stepdad smokes weed every single day, and he's still miserable. I don't know how that's possible. So I just don't like that energy. I don't need it in my life. I'm just like, alright, bye y'all. Hopefully someday you guys change so that I could have something to do with you, but I probably won't, and I don't care. Because I know that I never needed them. You don't need anyone else. Once you start realizing why people treated you badly, it's because you were a threat. You were better than they were in their own mind, and so they gave you all that power while taking none of it for themselves. So it's like, you can be sad. Oh, my mom hates me. Use that bitch's energy. Use her fucking hateful energy so you're better. And that she could fucking hate you more. That's what I'm trying to say. You can't be competing with people. You just allow them to watch you shine and grow and glow and be better than they'll ever be. Okay? Yeah, and so like, the most important thing is to continually remember that the people that are pathetic will continue to be pathetic and live shitty, sad lives while you live a better life that they will never even get to they could never even dream of. And that's the goal here, is to win against the enemy. Okay? And I would say that a lot of people here are in that repetitive cycle. Thank you for the cherry. They're in that repetitive cycle of thinking that they owe their family. Oh, I owe my family this, or I owe my parents that. If your parents aren't treating you right, you don't owe them shit. I'm sorry. You just don't. Okay? They gave you life, but you don't have to take the abuse. Okay? Thank you. I think that you have every right to let go of people who don't serve you in a positive way, people who make you angry, people who try to upset you because they're unhappy. They want you to be in the same path that they are with them. And it's just like, no, like I want to be better. I want to have a good life. I want to have money. I want to have happiness. I want to have joy. I want to have love. And I cannot get that love from the wrong people. You know? And so it's like, I have to understand, okay, you're not somebody I can work with, and just move on. I can't sit there and be like, come on, work with me. Come on. No. They don't give a fuck about me anyway. You know what I mean? So why am I going to want to help them? Why am I going to want to move forward with them? Thank you. And it's just like, it's sad. That's what they want. They want you to grovel to them. They want you to want them. They want you to suffer. And so instead of suffering, being really happy will piss them the fuck off. And every time they're pissed off, you can use that energy. Alright, be mad, bitch. It'll just make me stronger and better. You don't know how I work. You don't know how things work. When you're hating on somebody that's minding their own fucking business and doing what they need to do, your life falls apart and their life gets better. People don't know that. People don't understand that. I'm not saying try to make everybody fucking hate you. I'm saying do good on your own. And when people start hating, that shit will carry you to the top. Okay? Like, why do you think certain celebrities are more popular? It's because people don't want to fuck with them. Right? Like, people are like, oh, well, they're only good for a specific category or whatever. It's like, yeah, that's what you think. Just watch, okay? You know, when they're like, they're trying to say, like, an actor or an actress can only behave a specific way or whatever. It's like, that actor usually can turn it around and be like, no, I acted in all of these comedies and something really serious. What now, bitch? You know, like, what was it? Adam Sandler, he did that. What did he do? Click? I loved that movie. It was so sad. Oh my god. But it was funny. Like, he was able to work all of it. Yeah. Thank you. And so that's what I'm saying is, like, you can let people live their miserable lives while you're living a good life. And really just taking all of their hate, all of their anger, and letting it build you in a good way. Because there's a lot of people that will want to keep you in their lives so that they can rip you down, tear you down. And it's like, once you start realizing these people don't have anything going for them, and so they don't want you to move forward in life, you're going to start separating yourself from these types of individuals. Because you have to have that much respect and love for yourself that they don't have for you. Okay, and that's when you start realizing, wow, I never needed these people. I never needed my parents, who all they ever did was fight. You start to realize things. You're like, I'm actually happy when there's not all kinds of fighting around. Wow, I didn't know I could be happy. Okay, like that was the kind of reality I ended up, like, getting into. I was like, it's quiet. Like, my house is quiet and calm and peaceful, and people aren't fighting. Like, you start to realize what kind of reality you can have. Like, maybe you've never experienced that, but, you know, there's different people that have to go through certain things. And once you move away from it, you'll start to realize how wonderful and beautiful life is. And I know that's kind of sad. You know, like, oh, you have to move away from your family to realize how great your life is. But that's how it could be sometimes. You might be the one person in the family that was worth anything. And that's why they were shitting on you and treating you like fucking garbage. Because they knew that you handled things better. They knew that you had gifts and talents they would never have in a million years. It's just a underlying jealousy from somebody who never became anything and sees your potential. There's a lot of parents like that out there. Some of these parents will use their children, put them behind a movie screen and be like, yeah, that's my monkey dance. You know, you can have a life like that, or you can have a life where you are in control. You are no one's monkey. Mentally, physically, spiritually. Okay? Unless you're gonna be a monkey's uncle, I wouldn't want to be a monkey. But I think a monkey's uncle is like, I think it's a turn of phrase. It's not like a real, it's a saying. I think it just means to, like, I don't know. Like, if I was to go home and I was to show my brother, hey, look at my baby, and it's a monkey, and they're like, ooh, that's a cute baby. You know, like, he just believes it's my baby, no questions asked. I believe that's what that means, but, for the most part, I would say that a lot of us experience, trauma as a child from either our siblings or our parents or our teachers. The students in our classes, you know, and it's up to us as adults to move past the classroom, to move past the childhood home, and to create our own futures and our own lives. And it's like, I tell some of these men, if you're still living with your parents, you're probably not going to have your own life anytime soon, because your surroundings are your folks. And so that's what, whoever you're going to bring into your life they're going to all see that that's your life. You live with your parents. You chose to stay around. I mean, I don't know if your parents are old and they need your help, but some people don't need any of that. They don't need to do any of that, and they choose to do that anyway. And they wonder, why don't I have a wife? Why don't I have a girlfriend? Why don't I have this? Why don't I have that? Why does he have this? Why does he have that? There's specific energies. It could be your own folks that are kind of ruining things. You could have like an overbearing mother that, you know, maybe makes all of your dates really uncomfortable and makes them not interested in you anymore. Or you could have like a dad who's like really embarrassing and shits when he walks and farts when he talks. I don't know. I'm just saying, y'all, we could have different things in our lives that are holding us back that we could easily just let go. And I'm not saying never talk to your folks again. I'm just saying move the fuck out. If they're embarrassing you every time you bring a date, maybe don't fucking bring your dates there. Try to do things a little bit differently. I mean, maybe it's not maybe everything isn't hopeless. Maybe it's just the way you're doing things, you know. And that's kind of what I try to say about the future. It's like, yeah, we got kind of past the future, but it's like, because worrying about the future is anxiety, okay? And being in the moment, you can work your situation for a better future, and this is part of it. It's like, okay, I don't have a wife, I don't have anything yet, but it's like, are you living a life of a man who deserves a wife? Do you have a good job? Do you have enough money to like do this? Are you expecting to get a wife so that she can do the work? Because I don't know what your traditions are, but you gotta find somebody who's comfortable with you either taking care of them or working. So it's like, you gotta really think about your priorities and what you're trying to do. Are you worthy of these particular things? If not, you can work towards it. And there's no reason to just freak out or worry about it or, you know, stress or anything. You could just do things slowly in the moment, and it'll be, you know, that you could do things in the moment for your future without having to worry about your future. At the same time, you could just live your life very fluidly and very organically the way I do. Like, I don't, you know, I could probably go out there and make lots of money, but it's like for myself and for them, you know. If I work for somebody, I have to deal with their rules. And that's not really something that I want to do. I'm an Aries. I hate following rules. I don't really do it unless I really have to. I don't even go places where the rules, where I don't like specific rules. So it's like, you just gotta know yourself. You gotta know your situation, and you gotta find out what's holding you back. And a lot of people will say, oh, there's mental blocks. Well, alright. That's easy. Just tell yourself every day when you look in the mirror, I have no mental blocks. I have no blocks. Everything I want to do, I can do it. There's nothing holding me back. Like, it's simple. Boom. Done. Now you believe you can do it. Now go do it. Okay? It's not science. Like, science is hard. Using your brain shouldn't be. Thinking clearly should be easy. But I would say a lot of the times it's hard to think because of diet and really just how you were groomed, how you grew up. Or did you grow up with parents that were good at handling stress? Most of us weren't. Okay? And I feel like that's kind of where we were rooted. And it's like, once you start to realize you don't have to do things the same way your folks did, you could do things however the fuck you want, and they could work out just as good, maybe even better. And once you find your new solutions, you can allow people to be haters, allow them to be jealous, and then try to, if you can, teach them how you got there. And they might appreciate it. Some of them might be jealous and not appreciate it. It's really, you don't even have to share shit with nobody. Okay? That's up to you. But I would say with this type of knowledge, it goes hand in hand with eating right, working out, getting proper sleep, taking care of your body, not doing drugs, or at least really bad drugs. You know, you can drink here and there, but like obviously not excessively and crazy, and you know, shooting up is definitely not on the menu when it comes to keeping your mental stability. Obviously doing specific drugs is gonna make you more vulnerable than, you know what I mean? Like, if you're gonna drink and you know it makes you crazy, don't do it. You know, just do things that you know will help you. And I feel like a lot of us are trained to do things that won't help us, so that we won't become successful, so that we won't have a good future. And I would say that it's up to us to decide, are we going to have a good future? Are we going to have the same future our parents had? Are we going to, you know, be innovative and create a new future that's happy, healthy, and wealthy? Or are we going to create a future that, well, let's wing it? You know, I'm cool with the all organic type of lifestyle as well. But if something isn't working, you know, don't bash your head over it. Try something new. Try to see things from a different perspective. And just keep trying. Especially if it's something that's good for you and your future. That's like positive for everyone around. And I think that's true too, is to see the bigger picture. Like, maybe our parents did specific things a specific way because they had to. That's fine. But if we don't have to, I'm not saying, you know, it's wrong. I'm just saying if there's better ways of doing things, definitely find better solutions. You know, and if it ain't broke, don't fix it. You know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. If you like living with your parents, if you like, you know, bringing whoever you're with to your folks' place, and stuff like that, that's all on you. But it's like, if something ain't working, you gotta kind of find out why, instead of getting mad and frustrated and miserable, because that's like I said, the anxiety. You're worried too much about the future. You gotta worry about what you're doing now and why it's not bringing the energy or the situation that you desire. Okay, and this is just for y'all. This is just for y'all. You don't gotta do anything with it. It's just maybe it can help you even little things. Okay, when I take my car to this mechanic, it acts weird. Maybe don't take your car to that mechanic. Take it to a different one. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. Maybe if something ain't working, time to fix it. If it ain't broke, don't need to. So, I hope you all have a great day or night wherever you are in the world. That was my hour session of power. Okay, so our hour of power will be back on next Monday, because I think today is Friday. It's Friday night. Oh, what a night. Okay, so yeah, it's Friday. I'm gonna be having my party this weekend. Okay. Woo. I hope y'all have a good week, and I'll see you next Monday. Have a great day or night. If I do show up, I'm just gonna be on to fuck around with y'all, okay? Alright, bye. Dun, 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 dun.